All right. Hopefully everyone's having a fantastic week. We're talking a little Sacramento real estate. We're giving you an update of what's happening. First and foremost, so guys, we want to promote a listing that we have in Gold River. Surprise, surprise. Right now we got one. It is going to be doing open houses all weekend long. $649,900. It's a gorgeous house in Gold River. 3-bedroom. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous home. So if you're looking for Gold River, guys, this is the house. This is it. Come on. Also, guys, if you're looking for an amazing app that won't make you sign a buyer broker, guys, download the Sacramento Real Estate app in the description down below. It's identically like Zillow, but we don't spam you. We don't make you sign stuff. And it's just a fantastic app that we developed just for you guys, Sacramento Real Estate. So this is us. This is Gold River. This is our weekend, guys. This is an awesome little house. Gorgeous landscape backyard. And like I said, and we are paying buyer compensation. Yeah. 2.5 on that one. Oops. Did I just break the fourth wall? Yeah. Okay. Here's the thing right now. You're getting a lot of weird stuff happening in the industry right now where a lot of people aren't really telling you exactly like what, if they're offering at all buyer compensation, which for me is just like, I don't know about that. It doesn't really work for me that much. I know people are saying it's negotiation, but there's a little bit, a level of like lack of transparency and everything too. So it's going to be an interesting ride. I mean, before we jump into this whole like resale versus new homes, which is just a cool topic, the real estate market's changed. I mean, a lot of people are going to say, no, it hasn't, same old thing and everything too. Buyer brokers out there, and it's just confusing, right? For me as a realtor, I'm getting like hit with like different like organizations trying to explain this thing and why it's about and all that stuff too. It's really one of those things that I just think I might have to do a video on it, because I think I could probably explain the buyer broker in under a minute, where a lot of people are going a little too verbose on it. So I think I'm going to do a video like that probably this week or next weekend. But if you guys are in town, join us for the open house in Gold River. It's going to be awesome. All right, genius. First, I love it. If you guys are having a great day too, just let me know. I'd love to hear it. I'm having a fantastic... Wait, where is this one? All right, those are both. Come on, guys, keep it clean. Are doing the same thing. I don't know what to say. It's not really real estate related, and that's kind of what we do on this channel. Okay, so let's talk new homes. Let's talk resale homes. First and foremost, one of the things that I will tell you is the biggest thing right now in the market is that inventory is still fairly light. And so for me, one of the things I'm noticing is within the last maybe 3 years, Sacramento, the new home stuff here in Sacramento has been absolutely just nuts. New home stuff. We got like 30,000 homes being built in Folsom. We got 30,000 Elk Grove, 30,000 West Roseville. Lincoln is blowing up. You got houses being built in Antelope, West Sacramento. The new home thing is a really big one. And a lot of people right now who are suffering because of low inventory or inventory that's just overpriced or just sitting, love new homes. And so I kind of wanted to give a little bit of a pros and cons to this stuff too. And before we go into the idea of like which one's better, there's no real better one. It's for personal preference, whatever you guys like. Some people like the resale stuff because they feel like they can get a little bit more space. There's more of an established area. Some people like the new stuff because it has that great room concept. And as we know, in certain parts of Sacramento, you're going to see a lot of ranch style homes. The open concept, when the time that they were building their homes, it didn't really kind of like happen. So that's kind of what we're seeing. So, okay, let's get into it real quick. As far as the new homes, I would say these are some of the biggest pluses on the new homes. And also the other thing too is everyone's been asking me, should I get an inspection with my new home? Yeah, they have like usually like a 10-year structural, and you have like warranties on all this stuff happening. And then they have the year where they come back and they fix everything too. But just, I would say take photos, take pictures, just if something looks off. It could be, we've already had a couple of people actually bail out on new construction deals because they just went into them and they're like, man, there's just some stuff going on there that just doesn't look good. And, even like a lot of the supervisors, on the crews were kind of like, this just, yeah, it's not right. So I would say just be very diligent. Take photos, guys. A lot of people always ask me when we go to see new homes, like how should we do it? A lot of the new home salespeople and the crews will say, start writing down your stuff. I always say, take photos, create a Gmail account, new home, whatever. Start sending those photos to yourself. Just kind of just keep photos. Photos are great. I mean, man, we're like an Instagram generation, but at the same time, I'd say keep photos when you're doing the walkthroughs, when you're doing all that stuff too. Now, the other thing too, that I think is very, very big when you're in new homes is don't like if we're talking to a sales rep and you're back and forth and they're saying we're going to do this or we're going to do that. I always say make sure that no matter what you're getting from the new home rep, and they definitely mean well and all that stuff too. But like, let's say, for example, you're talking to them and they're saying, you know what, we're going to get brand new doors on that home for you. We promise we're going to do that. The second you get home, write up an email and say, hey, just want to clarify, you will be getting us brand new homes for our house as stated, and just get that reply and keep everything written, email, like all that stuff too. Because a lot of stuff during the process of getting your new home, it just, a lot of the sales reps are working with a lot of clients. A lot of stuff gets lost in translation. So photos and emails back and forth tend to be the best way to go about it. Okay, so let's say the new home is built to spec and you're just loving it. The things I like about new homes are energy efficient. I think like the energy efficiency of some of these new homes are just fantastic. And if you live in Sacramento County, you got solar, you're basically paying half the price of PG&E, energy efficiency. It's a good way to be. A lot of the appliances also, if you go with the appliance packages and whatever, they have a nice warranty on those. You got the 10-year structural as well too. You got solar as well put on your house. Now, a lot of people are like, yeah, we're in SMUD, we're good. But solar is a huge thing as well, too. It's becoming even a bigger thing, too. I've been hearing more people griping about like PG&E and all that stuff as well, too. So I think a lot of people are moving into Sac County mainly because of SMUD, Roseville Electric. So I like solar. If you are someone who's looking to get a new home and you're thinking between buying and leasing, I'm a big fan of buying because you get the tax credit, which is basically a third of the solar price. For me, I think that that's a good thing. The other thing too, my buddy Amy, the appraiser, who should be on tonight, but she's not, she's tired. She's been swamped these days. She also told me this: if you lease solar, it doesn't get added to the price of the home. If you buy solar, it's part of the home and it gets added to the appraised value. So I like that about solar as well too. Now, another thing about new homes is open floor plans. Like we're going to see, and you do see here in Sacramento, that a lot of the houses are like old school. They have that living room area when you walk in the door that no one really goes to, but you put that kind of furniture there and it's just unused space. The other thing too is you're going to find a lot of like hollow kind of walls and weird kind of closets. And there's just not really good use of space in some of the older homes. In the new homes, man, they use every inch of that space. They can make a house that's maybe like 2,000 square feet feel like 2,500 square feet. It's really amazing. Also, the open floor plan. Now that we like gathering with our family and all that kind of fun stuff, the open floor plan is something great room concept everybody loves. And for the most part, a majority of the houses right now being built, I'd say at least 90% of the new homes being built, have the open floor plan. They don't have any of those kind of funky little living rooms. I mean, maybe one or two models might, but they leverage the open floor plan like nothing else, which I really like. Another thing too that I find is they're priced well, right? In other markets, you're going to go like to Vegas or wherever else. New homes tend to be a lot more expensive than the resale homes. In our area, especially in areas like Folsom, we're talking to this amazing couple, and they're like, "Well, what do you think about as far as Folsom buying maybe a house at like Tri Point, Canterley, Lariat, or Taylor Morrison?" I'm like, do me a favor, go to Zillow and go 3-bedroom, 2-bath, Folsom, California for under $670 and see what you find. And you just find nothing, or you find stuff that you don't want. So I think as far as we go, as far as our market, it's nice to see the fact that we actually have houses that are like, the new homes are very competitive in pricing, and in some areas are even better than the resale stuff. So for me, I love the pricing on them. Now, another big thing is as far as like affordability with the incentives and the rate buy downs. I mean, one of the things a lot of people have been complaining is the fact that rates, even though they're better than they were, don't get me wrong, we're I think somewhere around a 6.3 right now. And a lot of people say we're going to go down even further, but it's insane. Like KHOV over in Rancho, you can get a 3.5, 3.9 all day long over a Vineyard at Richmond American. They're offering crazy incentives, and you have that rate that everyone's so high about. So that's another thing that new homes, even though you can kind of bake it into the price a little bit with a buy down, it's just not as apparent. It's not as easy to do. Now, the other thing too, people absolutely love about new homes is, sometimes for a very popular model, you got to be on a wait list to wait for it, right? Yes. But for the most part with new homes, the floor plan, the lot, you can wait for it and you can get it. So as far as availability, it's fantastic. I have so many clients right now that are waiting for a few communities in the Sacramento area, and they're just not seeing it. They don't know when something's going to come up. They're waiting months and months and months. Whereas with new homes, if you know the floor plan, you know the community, all that kind of fun stuff, what you're going to notice is that eventually they will come up. And eventually, you're going to know somewhat when they are, and you can get yourself all ready with the pre-approval and get going. And we have an amazing couple that actually just got into contract at Beezer at Vineyards. They're waiting. They got this like 50-foot backyard. Absolutely amazing. But for them, honestly, it was maybe about a month process. Now they got their house. It's going to be built by the end of the year, and they're good to go. So the availability, the idea that you can get something kind of quick is kind of a fun thing as far as what we're seeing in the market. Now, let's go towards the resale stuff. One is for resales, 100%, you're going to know what the neighborhood looks like, right? So for a lot of people, like that's a huge thing for them. They're going to be like, all right, I want to know what this area is going to look like. They keep telling me Folsom Ranch is going to be amazing. They keep telling me like Elk Grove, this area is going to be amazing. But a lot of people don't have that vision to see what they're going to look like. So you have established neighborhoods. You got like in Folsom, right? You got Briggs Ranch, Empire Ranch. You drive in there, there's no construction, and you know what the neighborhood kind of looks like. That's one of the nice things about it, like resale. You're going to know what the area looks like. And like I said, there's still a little bit of ambiguity as far as like what Folsom Ranch is going to eventually look like. What is East Bidwell going to look like? Are they going to make it a bigger road so people can actually drive down it? That stuff is all like big question marks. Everyone says, of course they are, but at the same time, it's nice to have that established community. Now, another huge thing, and this is probably one of my biggest pluses on resale, Mello-Roos. Majority of the resale stuff you see on the market that's maybe like past maybe like 6-7 years old, maybe not in Elk Grove, but in a lot of the other areas, Mello-Roos just isn't there. They're already in a community that's established. They're good to go. And Mello-Roos, for the most part, I'd say maybe at least 75% just doesn't exist in that. We showed houses in Fair Oaks, and we showed a couple really nice homes. And our client was like, is there Mello-Roos? No, there's not. And so Mello-Roos is one of the biggest things that is pushing people into the resale. I mean, when you have a lot of builders pushing a heavy Mello-Roos at people with the new homes, it just doesn't make sense to a lot of people. You got people who are like paying like what? Now we got like $350. We got people looking at like $450 up. We got special assessments up at New Home Company of Ridgeview, which is like in the 500s. And don't even get me started in Bickford Ranch with Toll Brothers. So Mello-Roos is a big thing. Now, as far as also the other thing with like the more established neighborhoods, you're not going to get the nails in the tires, broken windshields. Guys, last year I got like 5 nails in my tires just driving through those communities. My windshield still got a crack in it. And so, you're going to have to deal with a lot of trucks, a lot of building. If you're someone who maybe bought one of the homes and the lots next to you are kind of empty, you're going to have to deal with that. So a lot of people like that established neighborhoods because they don't have to deal with that. Now, backyard size, what you notice mainly in the new home stuff is unless you are looking for a specific lot, backyard size doesn't tend to be as big, right? You're not going to get this monster backyard. And a lot of the houses, like you're going to see the older ones, ranch style homes, they have nice scaled backyards. So a lot of people like the idea of backyards and side yards. They don't like being super close to their neighbors. And one of the biggest gripes I have with new homes is the fact that the density, they're too close. And so, like I said, unless you're someone who's maybe preferring like a certain lot where you have your privacy, they're not all built that way. So in the new home communities, they're pretty tight together. And so that's just definitely something to consider. And like I said, guys, the thing that you guys should be thinking about going forward also is like the development on these new home communities. Like, what are they really building there? Schools and all that stuff too. Development plans are online. You can definitely find them. But like, with established communities, like let's say like a Briggs Ranch, or let's say like Crocker Grove or something, you kind of know what the HOA looks like, what the community looks like. You can drive through it and not a lot is going to change. So that's one of the things about the resale that I like. And I know a lot of people probably went through what I've been talking about. And the biggest standout for a lot of people probably is there's not a lot of Mello-Roos when it comes to resale. And in the new home, I'm sure the biggest plus for a lot of people is the crazy incentives they're offering. So I think there's a place for us. I think there's a place for new home and resale in our market. I think that resale, because inventory has been low, new homes have been like kind of reintroduced to us. I think a lot of people who are moving into the area, especially because of COVID and people wanting a brand new home, I think new homes are becoming really, really popular. And I'll say for me, straight up, we get a lot of people relocating to the area. In fact, we're probably one of the top relocation teams in the Sacramento area. We got a lot of new home people as well too. But now all of a sudden what we're seeing when rates are dropping a little bit, we're seeing a lot of people call up for resales. So I do think we could have a little bit more of a balanced market as far as new and resale. But I will tell you one thing. A lot of people might not like new homes. A lot of people say that's not for me. But I would say that in our market in Sacramento, it's really, really nice to know that you do have options. In the Bay Area, you're not going to have a lot of new home communities sprouting up left and right. They're few and far between. In other areas as well, you're not going to have them. We're kind of lucky in Sacramento where if you want a home, if you want something brand new, if you want a specific floor plan, you actually have that selection. And I think a lot of people maybe take that for granted. So I would say at the end of the day, who wins resale? I'd say if you're looking for something that's maybe established, a house that has a nice yard, a house that where you can see what your neighbors are looking like and what the community, and you want a little bit more of a peace and quiet, resale could be the spot for you. If you're looking for something that's just like new, open concept, energy efficient, you don't mind the density, new homes could be the way to go. And also the other thing with new homes is I think, and this is the biggest push for new homes, a lot of people can't afford what they want in the resale market with the current interest rates. So I think new homes tends to be that avenue that a lot of people now, we're getting a lot of calls also for people that love those 3.5 videos we're putting out and the 3.99s. New homes have that. And like I said, for every point that you save on your interest rate, it's between like $300 to $500 a month. So that definitely adds up. And a lot of people are back in the game if they look at the new homes. So hopefully you guys got a little bit of idea of the difference between new homes and resale in the Sacramento area. Like I said, if you guys have any questions about it or you guys want to go for a tour on some of the new homes and resales, give us a call. We have a small team. We're kind of a boutique firm in the area. We do more relocations, new homes, than almost any team in the area as well too. This is kind of the OG YouTube channel. We've been doing it for like 5 years on this channel. We'd love to work with you. And that's it. That's my elevator pitch. Now let's get into some questions, some polls, and all that kind of fun stuff. And that's it. If you guys have questions, let me know as well too. All right. Boom. Let's get into it. All right. So here's what we're looking at when we're looking at properties with price decreases. Now, this is where it gets a little interesting. Let me just pull this up in real quick. Boom. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Just hang with me just for 1 second. All right, we're good. Okay, so here we go. Okay, this is properties with price decreases. And we're seeing like more and more of these things pop up. So we're seeing price decreases. And here's the thing, and this is kind of what we're seeing in my humble opinion. I think the thing is sellers were testing out the market. I think a lot of sellers still have that 2.75 and they're kind of like, well, you know what? If you can sell my house for this amount of money, I'm good. And I think inventory is piling up a little, as you can tell in this other slide right here. But I do think right now what we're seeing is a lot of sellers now might be jumping into the market to buy another property. And so they want to get rid of him. So I think with with interest rates lowering, we're seeing more of a demand. And I think we're going to see some decreases hit the market, especially in the luxury market. I've been talking to a couple clients who are looking in like the $2 million or $3 million range. And a majority of the reason why they're looking in the Sacramento area is because they're seeing a lot of these houses in the greater Sacramento area, like the Grant Bays, El Dorado Hills, the Loomises, that are 2.5 and above, just kind of sitting there. They're not really getting a whole lot of traction. And so I think our luxury market right now in the Sacramento area is just a little soft. And so I think a lot of people might be looking at those and waiting for price drops. And I think you're going to see them. I think price decreases are going to happen. And I think it's going to start in the higher price points and the prices that are, the houses that you look at and you're like, man, how does that house sell for that when its neighbor sold for that? So I think we're going to see some price decreases. And for the ones that don't decrease, I think we're going to see our inventory pile up. Now, it's not going to be that inventory that's like, oh my God, crazy inventory. Like I got to buy it. It's my dream house. I think a lot of the inventory you're seeing on the market are things that are just basically thrown on the market to test the market and see if it could sell. I think some of this stuff, I think a lot of people are trying to do an upgrade. I'm not seeing a lot of houses besides the one we got in Gold River that is meticulously maintained and ready to go. I mean, I kid you not, guys. The house that we have in Gold River right now, it's like we did inspections, we did the pest. Everything is taken care of, so it's turnkey. I'm just not seeing a lot of houses that are turnkey on the market. And I'm seeing a lot of communities that are hot, kind of like just not produce available houses. There's a couple in Los Lagos, a couple like in Shelbourne, the IT communities, kind of some of the IT communities in Grant Bay, but you're just not seeing a whole lot of inventory. Ashlyn, who's on our team as well too, she was saying in Land Park, it's just a little slower than it normally has been. So I would say, guys, keep your eyes peeled. If you're in if you're at this moment right now and you're a buyer, my gut is telling me that a lot of you guys are saying to yourself, we're off the fence. Now, that doesn't mean we want to buy just anything. We're waiting to see where this market goes. We've been seeing interest rates go up and down, up and down. And I get it. Right now, a lot of people are saying, and you'll see in the comments, a lot of people are saying that we're going to see more of a drop in rates. So I think a lot of people are like, they're off the fence, they're getting ready, they're getting educated, picking realtors, picking lenders, and they're kind of figuring out exactly when they should pounce on the market. That's what I would be doing myself. I mean, we're looking at a time right now where people are talking about recession. We're talking about the election, and a lot of people, as you're going to see in the polls, are waiting for like the election to happen or waiting for like later on in the year. A lot of people are waiting for something to happen in the economy that's going to just drop rates. The only thing that I will tell you guys, though, is understand that if rates go down, let's say to a 5.99, let's say you're like, you can get a 30-year for a 5.99 conventional and you're loving life. There's a lot of other people that have been waiting for that as well too. So understand there is going to be a number where all of a sudden demand is going to spike and prices are probably going to increase as well too. And that's kind of how it works. Like interest rate down, inventory down, interest rates up, inventory is stacking up. So just kind of be aware a little bit. Don't wait too long, or else you could be in that market where all of a sudden you're submitting multiple offers. It's going way over list, and it's just super hyper competitive. And you wish you would have bought earlier and refied later. So just like I said, and I know on this channel we're about timing your life and not the market. Now, that spiel that I just did was for people who say, I've been ready for this last year to buy. Interest rates have just never been good enough for me to actually jump in. But my life, we have another baby, we want another house, job's great. Just be careful interest rates don't get too low where demand starts spiking and you're kind of SOL. All right, so here we go. As I said, the rates. We're doing a little bit of it's just, it's just so crazy right now with rates, It's kind of like going up, going down. A lot of people are saying it's going to go down. I don't know. I would play on whatever is available right now and how that rate looks. I would say for you guys too, one of the biggest things, word of advice I could say is find a lender that's really got your back and have them run numbers for you. What does it look like today? What does it look like tomorrow? And then have a realtor that really kind of knows you. And I think in this market too, with the buyer broker and Zillow making people sign stuff before they see houses and everything too, I think that right now, it's more than ever important to vet realtors. And I'm not talking about just buying agents, but I'm talking about listing agents as well too. I think listing agents for the most part, a good one can really crush it for your listing. A one that's kind of a little ambivalent, probably will let your house sit there for a while. So just, be advised right now, just keep your eye on who you're working with and just make sure that they have an amazing YouTube channel where they go live every single week without fail. Shameless plug. Okay, next one. Let's go. California is, unsurprisingly, ranked as one of the most fun states. Okay, so guys, here's one of the things I've been telling you, right? A lot of people will boohoo and say, oh, we hate California. We're going to Texas. We're going to Florida. Guys, the California lifestyle is something that people really love. I think a lot of times in Sacramento, we take a little bit of where we live for granted. I mean, we're close to Tahoe. We're close to the Bay Area. But here's the thing. Inside the Sacramento area, we got places like Folsom Lake, Sacramento, we got American River, Sacramento River. We've got all these areas, all these places. You can go mountain biking. You can go hiking. Great restaurants, great breweries. I mean, guys, we've got such a good thing going here in California. So I'd say if you're someone who's maybe thinking to yourself, hey, man, I think of maybe moving to Texas, moving to Florida, I would say rent, give it a test drive, because what I've been noticing is a lot of people who move out of California end up coming right back. We got a good thing, guys, here. All right, next one. All you can eat sushi. I love this. Okay, this is a sushi restaurant that I went to. Really, really good, guys. And if you're someone who's a fan of sushi, if you're someone who eats a lot, I will tell you guys, we're getting more amazing restaurants hitting up. And I'll tell you, if you're someone who likes all you can eat sushi, this is where I'd go. Boom. All right. Costco to open in El Dorado Hills. And I know a lot of people are thinking, man, why would you build one in El Dorado Hills where there's already one in Folsom? El Dorado Hills is growing like crazy. And what we've noticed right now is you got the town center over there, which is nice. You got Mercedes dealership. It's a nice high-end mall. But I do think that there's been a cry for Costco to go in El Dorado Hills. So this could happen. Yet another Costco. I mean, man, I think we got 8 in Sacramento County. This is going to be nuts. Guys, if you're someone who likes Costco's, guys, I don't know if there's an area in the United States that has more Costco's than the Sacramento area. So just understand, for all you El Dorado Hills people, Costco could be coming your way. All right, here we go. Folsom Cordova Unified School District is hiring. Guys, here's another thing, too, that I've been telling you guys as far as jobs go. Yes, we always hit on the medical, and we got like Dignity, Sutter, we got UC Davis Medical Center, we got Kaiser's, we got all this medical, right? We got tech, we got the state jobs. But one of the things that I've been really, really high on, something that maybe I haven't focused a lot on, is the idea that because of all these new schools that are like popping up, like in Lincoln and Folsom and everything too, infrastructure jobs and everything too, you're seeing that education, and Elk Grove Unified has always been one of like the most they've been employing the most people for a long time in the Sacramento area. But you're having like Folsom, Cordova, you're having other districts, because we're building more schools in those areas, bring in jobs. So if you're someone who's saying to yourself, man, we could be hitting a recession, I'm living in the Bay Area, not really happy. I'm going to tell you right now, guys, like, we're on a very, very nice growth spurt in Sacramento. I think, and I'm not saying it's just easy to walk in and grab a job over there, but the idea for a lot of people right now, especially if you're in the Bay Area and you're like getting laid off and everything too, just understand that our Sacramento market has a lot of job diversity. We're not so heavy in tech. We're not so heavy in all this other stuff. I mean, Intel, as we all know, there hasn't been great news of Intel as of late, but guess what? Homes have still been selling in the Folsom area, and those commercial centers that they're putting up in Folsom Ranch are still going. We're going to be having like 3 hockey rinks come up, and we're still going, right? In the Bay Area, when you got big players like Intel, Nvidia, or whatever, like end up not doing too hot, it's a big, big thing. But in Sacramento, because we do have a lot of job diversity, it's a less thing to be super, super kind of like, it doesn't impact our market as much if like one of our tech companies isn't doing great. So again, this is for people who are thinking about moving to maybe Texas or Florida. One of the things you should be looking at, besides maybe schools, besides maybe like growth, as far as our real estate market, is like jobs. And that's going to secure, especially for your investors, people who are maybe like buying investment properties here because of a nice, thriving job market. All right, that's my shameless plug on jobs. Boom. Let's get into some questions. I'll probably let you guys go for the night. Okay, how many cash buyers are there? 50%. I would say, based on the calls that our team has been getting, we get maybe between 8 and 10 calls a day. I would say that number is about maybe like 30%. We're seeing a lot of investors come back into the market. Interest rates are dropping, but we are seeing also a big chunk of them be cash buyers. Cash buyers, it's funny, a lot of them also are looking at some of the new homes. They don't like the Melrose, but they realize the fact that if they buy a brand new property as an investment property, they're going to have less headaches, and they're looking for appreciation. So if you're an investor and you're saying to yourself, you know what, this is my first investment home, I'm looking in areas that I want to basically, like have my first investment property. The 3 things you should be looking for, and I know I've said this in other videos: appreciation, short-term rental value, and long-term rental value. Now, let me go over that real quick, and then I'll move on to the next question. Number 1 is appreciation. A lot of people are always like, you know what, I want to be cash positive. I want someone to rent it. They're going to rent it, and they're going to pay for my mortgage. Now, a lot of savvy investors are more about the appreciation. They're like, look, if I'm smart, I buy a house, the appreciation on that house is going to be what I'm being focused on. Now, the rent is like the cherry on top of the sundae. But here's the thing about Sacramento. A lot of our housing developments are around medical facilities. So a lot of people like the short-term rentals, the Airbnb play, and the traveling nurses. So if you're someone who's maybe thinking investment possibilities, building a portfolio, or maybe you moved in Sacramento and you saw some monster appreciation happen with your house, and you're saying to yourself, I like our market, I see things happening here. I see a lot of houses being built, a lot of companies coming to Sacramento, and I'm thinking maybe it's time for me to dip my little pinky in the investment market. Give me a call, guys. We work with specific lenders also who handle investments, and we'd love to put you together with some of them. They can basically run numbers for you. So if you say, I like 123 Elm Street, and you give them a little bit of a scenario, they can run numbers for you and tell you if it's actually something that's worth your while, tell you if like a single family home is good, a duplex, a condo, a fourplex, all that kind of fun stuff. So it's good. Oh man, Matt, the mortgage guy. What up, Matt? Matt, I'm going to call you out and say, I want you on my show. One of these lives, we got to do it together. So when you're in the mood, it's 7:00 on Wednesday. I know that's a little late for you, but I want to have you on my show. And I've been dying to give you a call. I was going to give you a call today, but I know it's kind of late notice, 7 p.m. But I'd love to have you on the show. The other thing too is if you guys are looking for an amazing, like legitimate, high integrity, good person who's got a little bit of the McConaughey going when he talks, my buddy, Matt the Mortgage Guy, you got to check out his YouTube channel. He is like the real deal. And he's been one of the top, like, brokers in Sacramento. I mean, he's just an all-star. So if you're looking for someone awesome, cannot say enough about Matt the Mortgage Guy. All right. Cash buyers, 23% in SAC, I think. All right. I think maybe next week, Matt, if you're game, or the next couple of weeks, let me know. I also want to bring in a roundtable to talk a little bit about the buyer broker, and I want to get people in here about the market and everything too. So I kind of want to do a little bit of a roundtable as well too. So I'm trying to formulate plans, but I definitely want you on, Matt, because you are a rock star. And like I said, guys, if you're looking for the real deal, someone who doesn't just blow smoke, Matt's the guy. And like I said, he is my YouTube brother in this area. So I like that. All right. I'm down, brother. All right. There we go. All right. So we got this. All right. Let's say one thing. Don't mind uploading thousands of videos on YouTube channel, not make you profit. Yeah. Okay. So it's funny. And I do appreciate the comment and everything too. A lot of people will hit me up and say, like, I can get you thousands of views. I can get you thousands of subscribers. And for me on this YouTube channel, this is maybe TMI, but I'll say it anyways, right? A lot of stuff that I've been doing on YouTube, I like the idea of like people who watch this channel, like this channel, and I haven't been using any kind of smoke and mirrors, any kind of like weird little like, like doing this technique to get more viewers or audience and everything too. I really want this to be something that, if you like this channel and you want to subscribe to this channel, if you are confused about the market, you come to this channel and you listen to, someone like myself who has a team that's boots on the ground in the area that can help you with either a buy or sell in the Sacramento area. If you're someone that's maybe moving in from the Bay Area who heard things about Sacramento, the reason why this live show that and a lot of people say the live show is kind of the YouTube killer, but for me, I love the live show because this is what I do. Like, I love answering questions on the fly. Sometimes I might not know the answers, but for me, I think if you do something good, it's less about like those fast cuts and those fast videos and more about just sitting there and talking to people a little bit about fielding their questions. So for me, I like the idea of doing SEO for like my YouTube channel, but the idea is I really want organic growth. I want people to realize that, I love real estate. I love what I do. I love my clients. I have no urge to be a YouTuber. I just love real estate and I love the Sacramento area, and I am a Sacramento enthusiast through and through. So if we can do that in SEO, maybe we can talk. All right, next one. Boom. How to win the new real estate market. Good advice, but has this not been always true? And it was when I said, educate yourself. Educate yourself on the market. One of the biggest things that people, you guys have at your fingertips, and it's one of the things that a lot of people are like, realtors, this and that. A lot of things that's nice about the real estate market right now, the way I see it, is that you have more tools and more knowledge at your fingertips that you can get out there. You can see like how many times a house has been sold. You can see schools. You can see areas, Google Maps, Google Earth. You can see all that kind of stuff too. You can see future plans, future developments of communities and areas. That stuff wasn't around. I mean, back in the day, GPS wasn't even around, so I'd be driving around with a map. I guess what I'm telling you guys is like, take advantage of all the information you have out there. Take advantage of all the YouTube videos. And if for some reason you're stuck, always feel free to give me a call and we can talk a little bit about any direct questions you might have. I spend a lot of my day on the phone with people. Sometimes we work together, sometimes we don't. Sometimes they have a question, sometimes they're in trouble. Maybe they're in a new home contract and they want to get out. Maybe they're working with some other agent and they're not feeling like they're getting the service they want. So that's kind of how my day is spent. So like I said, guys, understand that right now we're in an age where information is at your fingertips. But if you want immediate information, you know where to call me. All right, next one. Would you hire a realtor? Sacktown Lander, Jason is such a good dude. I got some great lender partners, I gotta say straight up. Only if it's my mother's sister's grandma's little brother. Okay, would you hire a realtor with little to no experience? Only if my mother's sister's grandma's little brother that got their license last week to save me money on selling my home because he knows the market and is a hell of a negotiator, but has never owned a home and says to list my home for $2 million over value just to get the listing. Yeah, guys, one of the things too, if you're listing your home, one of the things I will tell you guys this too is not all realtors are created equal. One of the reasons why I created this YouTube channel also was because this is kind of almost like a media machine for people who list with us. We get your as you've seen, the videos just go like crazy. So I would say for a lot of people right now is that moment to ask, how long have you been in this business? I would say it's a great market right now, especially with the buyer broker, to ask like, you know, how much volume did you do? Are you part of a team? Do you go on vacations a lot, which a lot of realtors do? I would say now's the time to get your kind of like your list of questions ready. I think pretty much you always should have done that, but you know, in this new market where you're actually going to be signing the buyer broker, you should definitely interview and figure out who that team is to represent you. And I do think, honestly, in this new market, a team is what you're going to need. I think a team is going to help you field out who's offering like commissions, who's offering all that kind of stuff too. It's just going to be a lot of work. And I think, like I said, I created a team for us, for my brand, for whatever you want to call it. I created this team because I know that if you put 2 people on a deal or 3 people on a deal and everyone is involved, you're going to have that redundancy. And I think that you're going to give the client that much more attention. So I think for me, if I was looking to list a home, if I was looking to like buy a home, I'd probably work with the team. That'd be number 1. Number 2 is I think you definitely should ask these realtors that you're interviewing how long they've been in business, how much volume they close and all that stuff too. And then double check it. That'd be me. Real estate's changing. Are you ready? Who do you trust? Great perspective on dual agency. And like I said, right now, what you're going to notice too is it's confusing. The market is completely confusing as far as, you know, who's paying what? Should you work with a listing agent? Will they represent you? What if all of a sudden you buy a house that has all these defects? Are you paying too much? It's really, really confusing. Like I said, I'll be doing a video that'll go front and center on my YouTube channel probably within the next week, explaining what's happening, the buyer broker, all that stuff. And I'm going to try to do it under a minute because honestly, I've been listening to a lot of people talk about this and it's just a lot of redundant, a lot of it's so simple that I think I could do it under a minute. So expect that video from me in the near future. All right. How important is education when picking a realtor? This is an interesting one. I don't know. I mean, honestly, like there's a part of me, I'm from an older generation where like, you know, education and all that stuff too. But I also know realtors that have been in real estate since they graduated high school and are amazing. So I don't know. This is one of those things where I just want to ask you guys, like now we live in the age where you're going to go to Zillow. You're going to be seeing someone's pretty picture and you're basically going to see a house that you like. And then you're going to click on, I want to see this house. Then this realtor is going to send you a document that you're going to have to sign. Like, how do you check and how do you validate how good a realtor is? And that for me is kind of crazy. I mean, you know, back in my age, you had a resume you handed to your boss or a CV now, and that's how they'd vet you. But like in this industry of real estate where people can kind of lean on their teams, how do you vet? Especially if you've never met the person. Maybe it's just a phone call. Do you sign an agreement based on just like a picture and a couple emails and Zillow telling you to? It's going to be it's confusing to me. What do you guys think? Do you think how important is education for you? How important is vetting the realtor in this new real estate market for you? I want to know that in the comments if you guys could tell me. Also, if you guys are enjoying this live broadcast, I'd appreciate you smashing that like button. Don't just hit it. Smash that like button. Give me the whole cans. All right. Next one. Boom. Huge factor in yeah. God, I can't even talk today. What are we at? We're doing pretty good today. A huge factor in interest rate movement. Unemployment revised up, job creation revised down. Yeah, the government is lying to us. Who would have thought? You know, it's amazing how like the job report comes out, unemployment report, and then all of a sudden it gets revised and then it just moves rates. I mean, it's just amazing to me how just like one report can all of a sudden send rates one way or the other. It's just nuts for me. And a lot of these times, like Aaron was saying, a lot of the times, like these are reports that have been revised hundreds of times. So for me, I don't know. It's just crazy the impact that, and also, I mean, another thing too is YouTube videos. People like seeing all these YouTube videos that are like, oh my God, houses are going to crash, all that stuff. I mean, it is just a crazy world that we live in, that media, that just a news report can trigger interest rates. And I know everyone's like, yeah, that just makes sense. But if you looked at Aaron's video over there and just saw what he was saying about how many times this report has been revised, it's a scary thing when you think about that. That's something that can move interest rates, and it wasn't even done right to begin with. So I don't know. Quick move-in deals. Toll Brothers is my favorite adult active community. Great deals, and love the clubhouse. Ashland, I'm totally with you. I love Toll House. Love Toll House, Toll Brothers. Always call it Toll House. I know. I'm getting ready for the open house in Gold River. Toll Brothers community, Regency, I think is amazing. I love the pool. The other thing too, I will tell you about the Toll Brothers Regency community that I really, really like. A lot of people confuse the Toll Brothers Regency with like a retirement community. It's not a retirement community. It's definitely an active lifestyle out there too. People are in the pool. There's food trucks. There's a lot of events happening there. So if you're someone who's maybe moving to the Sacramento area, you want an active community, like you should check it out. You can give us a call. We can give you a little bit of the schedule of events they have there, but it's a really, really fun community. So I would say for you guys out there, like active communities are really changing the game. For people who are maybe moving to the area, people who are a little bit older and still want that active lifestyle and don't want to go to a retirement community, this is a good spot. Boom. Buyers not happy. Sacramento real estate market update. It'd be suicidal to buy in today's market for an average income family, but that's just my opinion. There is a part of me that kind of agrees with this. I think Sacramento, maybe 5-6 years ago, you could buy a nice house for like $300,000. No frills, no bells, no whistles, but it was a nice house, right? Your interest rates were decent, probably like 4s or 3s or something like that. And it was just, and it was fine. I think a lot of people in Sacramento right now are running into the big problem where they can't buy a house by themselves. Sacramento back in the day, like 6 years ago, I always looked at Sacramento as a cool place because you could come in, you didn't need two people like the Bay Area to basically buy a house and to pay the mortgage. You could like have one person work, the other person stay with the kids, all that stuff too. Sacramento is definitely changing right now because we just kind of boomed and prices went crazy. I don't know if Sacramento is that spot anymore. I think that the idea of having just one person buying a home, unless they're maybe doing some house hacking thing, I don't think that exists in Sacramento's market anymore. And that's just being completely transparent with you guys. I think right now we're moving into that market where you're going to need, strong earners to buy a house in this market, especially if you want to buy something that you like. And so hopefully interest rates coming down will help with that. But I wish that would change a little bit. It would be nice to see a little bit more affordability hit the market. It'd be nice to kind of get that old school vibe of Sacramento where, you didn't have to just bust your butt every single day to just make a mortgage payment. Because for myself, I had that in San Francisco. I mean, I was like, seriously, like I was working, I had a team of 12 people. We were working in IT back in the good old battle days. And honestly, it literally felt like, and I was getting paid a good amount of money. I got my check, I put it in the bank, and before I could even look at it, it was like gone to rent, gone to utilities, and it was gone. And hopefully, like Sacramento doesn't go too crazy like that. But all I know is that right now in the Sacramento area, house prices have skyrocketed, where job salaries have kind of done that. So I think we could be a little in trouble as far as affordability. All right, let's go. Oh, we got a Vacaville question. Opinions, Vacaville, hotter weather, Fairfield cooler, and closer to the bay, but maybe not quite as safe. Okay. I think Vacaville, I like Vacaville. Like a lot of people are like, Vacaville. I like Vacaville. I think if you go into inland, I had a couple clients who actually we were showing at Vacaville houses too. And there's some really nice communities in Vacaville. Fairfield, just because Fairfield for me, whenever I was driving to the Bay Area, it was just like a thud. There's always traffic. There's a lot of just like, it had this industrial vibe to me. I like Vacaville. And I think that thing is like, I think it's Travis Air Force Base. They plan on building like a tech city out there too. I think Vacaville is nice. I think as far as like price point over there, I think as far as the outlets, which I love, I like Vacaville a little bit better than Fairfield. Now I haven't, just preface it, I haven't sold or, helped someone buy a house in Vacaville or Fairfield, but I do know the market based on what I've been talking to realtors, and a lot of realtors prefer Vacaville to Fairfield. Now, I think also I need to preface this by saying if you're someone who's maybe commuting to the Bay Area, I think Fairfield is like a no-brainer. But I will say this, if you're looking at Fairfield, I've also seen people look at Vallejo. And I know people are, Vallejo or Benicia. There are some other options that you might want to look at as well too. So just saying, for me, if it was between Vacaville and Fairfield and commuting to the Bay Area wasn't an option, I like Vacaville. I like some of those communities in there that I've checked out. But that's just me. Like I said, I would say for you, if commuting to the Bay Area is something that's really important to you, I'd probably look at some of the little cute communities in Vallejo, and definitely Benicia. Benicia is one of those spots where for me, if I was moving somewhere to get closer to the Bay, I really do like Benicia. Okay. Hopefully that helped. Boom. All right. People are still spending. It is just nuts. I mean, there's reports that we are spending so much money right now. I mean, our debt is skyrocketing. And like last month, as you guys saw on the post I put on YouTube, I mean, we're still spending. I don't know when it's going to stop, but people are still going. All right. So quick move-in deals at Toll Brothers. Boom. Great information. Great informative video. I'm ready to pick out my Folsom dream home. All right, Michelle, let's go buy you a home. Still think you might not meet the 55 on that yet, but hey, if you want to, I'm good. All right, so we got San Jose medium isn't that insane? San Jose's medium home price is $2 million. Guys, if you come to Sacramento, the Sacramento area, and you are shopping for $2 million, you can basically buy whatever you want here. So, and $2 million probably gets you a condo. All right. Who feels that we'll be back at 7% before we know it? No. The trend is down. Plus, the Fed should hold off cutting until after the election in November. Let some more data come out. What's 2 months anyways? Here's the thing, Rob. I'm hoping you're right. I don't like being in the sevens. I'm okay being in the 6.5, 6.3. I'm okay being like in the low sixes. I don't think we're ready for fives just yet. I don't think our inventory's piled up enough. But I do like the idea of being in the low sixes for a little bit. I think we're going to be in just that spot where people are feeling like enthusiastic about getting back in the market. I think we're going to see some sellers probably say, you know what? I'm seeing a little additional demand. Maybe I'll sell my home. Not a lot. A lot of people still love their 2.75s. But I like us being there. Like I said, I do think, and I know a lot of people are like, no, we want rates to drop. I get it, but understand this. There are so many people right now that are waiting for rates to drop. It really might not be a good thing if all of a sudden you're looking at a house for like 700, then all of a sudden like we get this crazy demand for like 5.5, it's up to 750, and then you're seeing offers around 800 to get it. Might not be good. So just, beware of what you wish for. It just might come true. Okay, is Folsom overpriced? For sure. Yes. Guys, here's the thing. Folsom continues to be one of the hottest markets in Sacramento. Now, one of the reasons why I tell people, like, it's on, a lot of people look at Folsom, they're like, oh yeah, because of its like Folsom Lake, because of the bike trails, because of the outdoor. Here's the thing about Folsom is it's known also outside the Sacramento area. That's why the demand for Folsom is so high as well too. Roseville, a lot of people don't know it outside the area. Elk Grove as well too. Folsom is a known area, right? I had never heard of Elk Grove before I moved to Sacramento, right? But I had heard of Folsom. So with that extra kind of name cachet, a lot of people, are looking at Folsom. In fact, the funny thing is about Folsom is a lot of people will come in looking for Folsom, and then all of a sudden they're like, do you know any other spots that maybe I might want to check out? We go over to El Dorado Hills, we check out Gold River. Sometimes we even go to Rockland. And they've never heard of any of these spots, but they have heard of Folsom. So I do think Folsom, whether you overpriced, underpriced, or whatever, I still think Folsom is going to be one of the hottest markets in our Sacramento area. I think it's going to be like that for a while. All right. Buyers are not happy. Sacramento real estate market update. Sacramento is a good location, but not a great market. Respect your hustle, Mark. Agents gonna have to work more for their money. It was a great time for a couple of years, but that time is over. Cream will rise to the top. Yeah, I think the market has definitely changed, and I think you are right. I think both, and here's the thing, the buyer brokers changed around everything for buyers, but I've also heard listing agents basically on the other side, listing agents who are basically like, that's the majority of what they did. I heard listing agents say, we've been offered a lot of people have been asking like 1% to list the house and everything too. So I do think that what we're going to see is that realtors now more than ever need to prove their worth. And I think that's kind of probably how it should have been for a while. I mean, the crazy part is a lot of the listing agents I know, when the market is crazy and like all of a sudden like buyer demand is insane, I mean, they'll list a home. They won't even run their own open houses. They'll review offers. They'll, review them with their clients, and that's it. I mean, like in a market kind of like this one, if you have a hot listing, like it's going to go, right? And so I do think right now that if you are meeting with a buyer, if you are meeting with a seller, you need the value add. You need the hustle. You need the idea of saying like, this is what I plan on doing, and this is what no one else can do but me. And I think those agents will be around. But I do think right now the barrier to entry for real estate, for people who are maybe thinking, you know what, I'm thinking about jumping into real estate. I want to make some good money. I hear everyone's driving around in great cars and selling luxury homes. I think that market's gone. I think for the most part, a lot of the agents who are thinking about a lot of the people who are thinking about getting a real estate license at this point, if they meet with a client and the client looks at them and says, how many years have you been doing this and how many deals have you done? That's just going to be a hard objection to overcome. I don't care what team they're with. I don't care which mentor they're with. At the end of the day, if their name is on the contract, it's going to be hard to overcome that. So it's going to be interesting, like I said, but I do believe I'm with you. The cream will rise to the top and this YouTube channel will get more subscribers. So it's a win-win. All right. We got another one. Sacramento is experiencing a correction from 2 years plus ago. Boomers are selling homes for way above market rate. All contingencies waived. Was a gold mine for sellers and agents. Not so much now as Sacramento markets transitions back to its reality. Bay Area buyers not so excited to move to Sac now. Will be buyer's market for the next few years in Sacramento. Corrections for agents and sellers. Here's the thing, and this is where it gets kind of interesting. If we hit into a buyer's market, the buyer broker is going to even be more important then. I think right now what we're seeing is that Sacramento in general is building up. It's fortifying. You're seeing areas like Folsom Ranch that are going to be completely different in 2030. Elk Grove too. I think the new homes are big, kind of like they're bringing people from the Bay Area. I said a lot of people from the Bay Area, I'd say at least 70% of them are looking to new homes. I don't know if they're looking anywhere else other than maybe out of the state. But a lot of people like California. A lot of people want to stay here. I think Sacramento, like I said, and here's the thing, both this comment, both what I'm saying, I mean, only time will tell. I think Sacramento, the reason why we're never on those lists about like, oh, this is a horrible place to live, horrible market or whatever like this, is because people right now were poo-pooing Sacramento. People were throwing a lot of hate at Sacramento. There were a lot of YouTubes. Oh, don't move to Sacramento. Sacramento's not this. And I think, honestly, right now, a lot of people are opening their eyes to Sacramento. I think people realize that Sacramento is a pretty amazing place to live. I think you can get anything you want here for the most part. I don't think you have to pay that insane mortgage payment that people are paying in the Bay Area. I think you can be close to Tahoe. I think you could be close to basically like the Bay Area if you want to. We got wineries. We got brand new schools opened up. And we have these new homes that are offering crazy incentives and communities are being built and just new schools and everything too. So I think for us, I think by 2030, Sacramento is going to be just cemented in California as being that spot that a lot of people wish they would have bought in. And so for me, like I said, I'm a Sacramento enthusiast. I think I think the best is yet to come. And I love our market. Like I said, I mean, we don't hit those lists of oh my God, everyone's losing their shirt in Sacramento. We're always on those lists of, best community to live in or best city to live in or where the Bay Area people are all moving to. So I like our odds. And yes, we're going into election. Yes, recession, all that stuff too. But as far as I look at Sacramento, I look at it as jobs are a big, a big kind of thing with areas, and our job diversity is fantastic, especially with all the state jobs. The idea that like, new homes are bringing incentives in and we're like affordable California. So for me, I like our odds, right? And I'm not saying that like, that it's a guarantee, but if I'm going to be betting on the housing market and if I'm going to be betting on an area of growth and appreciation and prosperity, I don't know where else in California I would bet on. I love Sacramento and I love our market. I haven't been let down yet. And so for all the people I've been moving in and all the people that have not been contacting me because they haven't wanted to sell their homes, which is a good thing, it's fantastic. So for me, Sacramento, thumbs up. And I think we're going to keep going in a great direction. I don't know if we're going to see that much of a correction, especially if you're thinking we're heading to a buyer's market. All right. Hit some polls. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. Like I said, I'm here for you. Today, where was I? I was in Roseville, then I was in Elk Grove, then I was back in Gold River. We are a team that's everywhere in Sacramento. What I mean by that is like Michelle was like in East Sacramento, in Land Park. Nikki was in Rancho today. She was also in Vineyard, and I was out and about. The thing about this YouTube channel is that when it started off 4 years ago, and like I said, we are the OG YouTube channel in Sacramento. Because we were doing Sacramento real estate, I had to cover a lot of ground, which is some of the reason why I brought on team members. But it gives us a great vantage point because if you're someone who's maybe coming into the area and you're saying like, I don't know Sacramento that well, I heard of this place called Folsom, we can say to you, hey, what do you think about Rockland? What do you think about Loomis? What do you think about Grant Bay? What are the things that really, really matter to you? So I think that is one of the things that our team kind of brings to the table that majority of teams don't in the area. Majority of teams focus on one area and that's it. Where us, if you've looked at our track record, we basically sold and bought in almost every single part of the Sacramento real estate market. So like I said, shameless plug. If you are looking to move into the area, if you're looking to sell your home as well too on the #1 YouTube channel, like I said, you see in our videos, reach out to our team. We'd love to talk to you about it and work with you and get your house sold or get you into this fantastic real estate market. Okay, let's get into some polls and we'll let you go for the night. Who is waiting for after the election to buy? Yes, 45%, 22 votes. That's still a little worrisome, 45%. Okay. I think the election is on people's mind. I think that, we don't talk political on this channel, but I do think the election is one of those things that's just looming. And people are very adamant on whoever wins the real estate market is going to take a turn in either a good or a bad direction. So I get it. All right. How many cash buyers out there? How many cash buyers are out there? Yes, no. Like I said, guys, I do think that there is a good number of cash buyers. We actually put in an offer in this house in Granite Bay, about a week ago, and we were beat out by a cash offer. So the cash buyers still out there. And, like I said, our market, it's a good and a bad thing about the Bay Area. The good of the Bay Area is the fact that because we're a lot more affordable, a lot of people tend to move to the Sacramento area. But the bad of it is occasionally they sell their condo in San Jose for $2 million and they're coming into Sacramento all cash and it's a little hard to compete against. All right. Boom. Would you hire a realtor with little to no experience? No. Okay, guys. Shameless plug on this one, guys. Like before you sign on the dotted line with any realtor out there, ask them about how many years they've been in business, how many transactions they've done, and if they're a part of a team. Those are 3 things I would definitely ask them. I would listen to them, and I would maybe even take a resume. Boom. How important are schools to you when buying a home? High, medium, low. High. And one of the things that I will say for all you people moving into the Sacramento area, go to greatschools.org, take a look at some of our schools, then give me a call and I'll move you right in. Will back to school slow down the real estate market? Yes, it definitely has. Even with interest rates kind of dipping a little bit and doing the little dance, real estate has definitely been a little slower. It's seasonal. It's kind of what always happens in real estate when school comes back. And so I think that what I've been hearing from my lender partners are that applications are kind of through the roof. I think a lot of people are off the fence, like I said before, and they're kind of waiting for that right moment to pounce when the right rate and house hit. So I would say just be careful. I'd say be careful for someone that waits too long because it could turn into a crazy market. And that one house that you might have been waiting for to hit the market, you might have some crazy competition. It could swing just like that. Boom. All right. Bay Area loses thousands of jobs in July as tech layoffs jolt economy. I don't know. As far as Bay Area losing jobs and everything too, I'll tell you something. A good friend of mine from school, Brett, he's a Cisco engineer. He's been working for the state. He's going to be like 56 and he's going to be retiring and he's making some great money. So I'd say if you're someone in the Bay Area and you're freaking out about layoffs, you might want to look to the state, especially if we're jumping into a recession. Boom. Retail sales are, and this is the craziest part. Like I said, our consumer debt is off the charts and retail sales are like going up and up and up. Man, people are spending. All right, guys, that's it for tonight. I'm out of here. Once again, if you could, smash that like button. It would very much mean a lot to me. What have we gone tonight? What did we do? We did about an hour and we did about a little bit about over an hour. If you guys have any questions, just comment down below on anything I mentioned during this video. If you are someone who's thinking about maybe moving to the Sacramento area, like I said, my team, we would love to actually work with you, do a little buyer consultation. And if you're someone who's thinking about listing your home, and right now it's getting confusing with the buyer compensation, how much you should offer and everything too, we're a very transparent team. And not only that, we really have the strongest marketing engine in the Sacramento area, bar none. You've probably seen a lot of the videos that we throw on YouTube. Those are videos that get seen in the Bay Area, LA, everywhere. So if you're someone who's maybe thinking about selling your home and you're saying like, I want to get a real estate team that actually can market my house and maybe sell it for more than anyone else can, reach out to our team. Again, we'd love to talk to you. And that's my last shameless plug of the night, except for showing the number. Enjoy your evening, guys. Have a good one. And like I said, if you need anything, just let me know. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Smash that like button one more time. I'm out of here. Guess what, guys? The video just ended. But don't worry, we have more videos just like that one right over there. And if you missed that red subscribe button during the course of the video, we got you covered right there. Hit that subscribe button. We promise to bring you some amazing content. We won't let you down. Now, if you're looking for a team in the Sacramento metro area to work with, we'd love to talk to you one-on-one. We always include a Zoom link down below, so book a time where we can talk to you a little one-on-one, find out exactly what your real estate needs are.